Hey guys, I'm Matt Singer, and if you find yourself having trouble figuring out what to watch online, you've come to the right place because this is Bestflix, Screen Crush's monthly look at the coolest new movies and TV shows available to stream on Netflix. Let's count down the top 5 most notable titles for April 2015. First up, the Marvel Cinematic Universe comes to streaming television with Netflix's new original series, Daredevil, based on the classic comic book created by Stan Lee and Bill Everett. Charlie Cox stars as Matt Murdock, blind New York City attorney by day, superhero vigilante by night. It's basically like the Ben Affleck movie from 2003, except, hopefully not as terrible. The show's cast also includes Rosario Dawson and Vincent D'Onofrio, and it's supposed to kick off a whole wave of Marvel series on Netflix like Luke Cage and The Defenders. Personally, I'm boycotting all of them until Netflix gives NFL Super Pro the show he deserves, because NFL Super Pro is awesome, look at him! But if you choose not to join me in my boycott, Daredevil will be available on Netflix starting on April 10th. Now, Daredevil is known as the man without fear, but I bet even he would be a little bit creeped out by our next pick, the Australian horror film, The Babadook. It follows a single mom as she tries to take care of her troubled young son, and one night he asks her to read him a bedtime story, and she picks this strange pop-up book called The Babadook. Me personally, I probably would have gone with something like, Goodnight Moon, something a little more traditional, but what do I know? I'm not a parent. She reads The Babadook. All of a sudden, the monster from the book comes to life and starts haunting both of them. The Babadook isn't your ordinary horror film, and the scares are less about the monster than what the monster represents, namely the terror of loss and mental illness. The film was such a huge cult hit last year that the filmmakers actually made a real version of the Babadook pop-up book and then sold it to fans who, I guess, hate their children and want to scar them for life. The Babadook will be available on Netflix starting on April 14th. Now, if you're looking for something to watch that won't give you nightmares forever, maybe check out They Came Together. That's the latest film from David Wayne, the director of great comedies like Wet Hot American Summer and Role Models. This one's a spoof of rom-coms, and it stars Paul Rudd and Amy Poehler. There are so many funny people in this movie that if I tried to run down the entire cast list, we would be here all day. So let's just put them up on the screen here. Yep. Good. Still going. Okay. All right, come on guys, let's speed it up. There we go. Okay. They Came Together will be available on Netflix starting on April 17th. Now let's go old school, and I mean really old school, and talk about the biblical movie Noah from director Darren Aronofsky. It's his retelling of the classic Old Testament story of the prophet who builds an ark to survive an apocalyptic flood. He's played by Russell Crowe. Aronofsky's Noah has all the familiar beats from the classic Bible story with a few interesting twists. And for a while, it's not entirely clear whether Noah is talking to God or just listening to the voices inside his head, which is a thing.
Matthew, I need you to build an ark.
Okay, can I finish Bestflix first?
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool. Thanks.
No worries, dude.
All right, Noah will be available on Netflix starting on April 18th. And now from the divine to the most heavenly actor of his generation, I'm talking, of course, about Jason Statham. One of Statham's best films comes to Netflix this month when Crank debuts on the streaming service. Statham plays a foul-mouthed hitman injected with a deadly poison, and the only way he can survive is by keeping his heart rate up, by getting into fights, taking drugs, and generally causing as much mayhem as humanly possible. Crank's central conceit is kind of a perfect metaphor for action movies. Action junkies go to these kinds of films for constant excitement. If Jason Statham in this movie does not provide constant excitement, he dies. For a dumb movie, that's actually pretty clever. Crank debuts on Netflix on April 9th. That's gonna wrap things up for April on Bestflix. For full updates on everything new and expiring on Netflix, Amazon, and other streaming sites, be sure to check out ScreenCrush.com. I'm Matt Singer, and until next month, happy streaming.